everyone, welcome back. I'm Honeywell and today we're playing Calamity Hills, which is our custom Sims 2 neighborhood. I am so excited. Ragnarok is going to top the political career track in the next round, which means we're going to open up our municipal building. Very excited about that. If you remember way back when, we built the shell of our municipal building when we made our Please Play Museum, and we opted for kind of like a complimentary modern style, and we're finally going to get to use it. So let's grab Jane Locke, who is our life of crime boss at Calamity Restoration, and we're going to have her head on over to the municipal building. We'll take a tour and have her set things up for a final play test. Now, so far, all of our lots in Calamity Hills, it looks good, doesn't it? So far, all of our lots in Calamity Hills are what? They're unowned, but we have our Sims purchase them to set things up, and then we have them sell them back, and they'll work exactly the way we want. What is going on here? Oh, I can't remember who did this. This is do you see all those birds? Somebody enabled the birds to come when you watch them. This is kind of scary. It's over on the Mod The Sims forums. I'm assuming they'll release it eventually. I can't remember who did it though, but very cool. I plopped this in my game just so I could look at it, and it's kind of neat. It's a little scary. Okay, that's a nice surprise. What was I saying? We're going to have Jane set up our municipal building for a final playtest. Now, if you follow me on Tumblr, you know that I've been playtesting the heck out of this already. So, yeah. Jane, get going. Yeah, walk to the municipal building, Jane. Walk. Quit with the jump rope. There you go. So we're going to do the final play test, and we'll do it kind of like a dress rehearsal, and we'll set everything up exactly like we would do if she bought the lot. Now, the purpose of our municipal building, first and foremost, is to collect taxes. But we'll be adding services and functions to the municipal building as we make it. So there's still a lot of like unused space. Oh, do you know what oh, this is perfect. Dustin topped the law career for us, and we're putting in a library to kind of commemorate that. So this is perfect. And that's the main thing that we're going to be doing today, is setting up the library. Now, I used to have these trees over here in front of these windows, but as I would rotate around the building, look at those mirrored windows. Don't they look so good? Love that. As I rotate around the windows, you see this, they were getting in the way, so I moved them across the street, because this village green is going to be kind of like part of the municipal building anyway, so I think it's fine. But I forgot that Sims would loiter when they arrive, that they would loiter around the phone booths, but I don't think I mind that at all. Yeah, funny that Dustin showed up. Let's start with a tour, right? First and foremost, I said that we were the purpose of the municipal building is to pay taxes. So, yeah, let's go down here to pay taxes. Now, I was thinking about setting up a cashier's office, but I wanted to leave some room empty for new features that we might want to add. And we needed a lobby and a reception desk. So I didn't think there was any reason why we couldn't have our reception desk over here. What do I want to do? So I put over here, nothing fancy. We're very much a minimalist. These shiny floors are kind of to give the impression that this is a nice building. And the reception desk is going to be unmanned. What I have over here is really nice. This is Sigmund Sims went ahead and made a bunch of Sims 4 computers into hacked Monique's computers, which is really nice. So what I did over here is this. Yeah, let's spin around here. Tasha, go. Get it together. Oh, I forgot. What did I do? Yeah. I have some of these walls permanently up in order to facilitate, so you get like a nice view. I love this. Long story short, I love this computer for my business lots. And I went ahead and took out all of the other computer functions. So for this one computer, the only thing you can do on it is bank online. And it makes it so much nicer when I just want a sim to bank to use this. What can she do? Here, you know what? Deposit 100 simoleons. The banking is something that we're not ready for. The last video I had... yeah, let's not look at her from that side. I just have the invisible desk and chair mod that I have, and I didn't bother putting like an actual bar stool in here, just because I prefer them to kind of stand and do the work. So what we have here is two ways for Sims to pay their taxes. They can pay it with Monique's computer, or they can also use Sim Wardrobe's check, which I guess we could send. We're not going to save this, so let's yeah, $100, and let's select the payee. Just so you can see this, the last video that we were working on, we were looking at this. And yeah, send the check to Ambrose. And so she comes over here and, she talks to somebody. We might put a cashier in here eventually. But for right now, I just don't think we need it. Now, because this is going to be an unknown community lot, the next time someone comes in here, this checkbook will be back again. So that's a nice feature. We don't have to worry about it disappearing. So yeah, here's our lobby. Very simple. We might have to take out this tree. And we have that to pay taxes. Now out back, one of the features that are unlocked is our Public Works Department. And I had the Public Works Department opened up for natural science. And I want each of the sections here to actually be functional and have our Sims want to come here for a specific reason. And with the Public Works Department, they're going to be able to pick up free mulch. Our Sims pay a lot of money in taxes, or they will. So I had Jane spend days and days mulching newspapers in order to fill up these recycle bins. And our Sims will be able to come over here and pick up some compost from the Public Works Department. And this is nothing fancy. They would just, you send a Sim over here. They're going to garden. They need some compost. We'll have them, just use that, set it in their inventory. Or wait, yeah, let's do this right. Will be in their inventory, have them plop it into their inventory, and they can take that home with us. And I'll never have to set up this compost again, because again, it's going to be an unowned community lot. So the next time someone comes here, the compost will still be there, just like the checkbooks. That's the only thing I can really think that would be of value for our Sims. Now, I also have, if somebody needed a trash can, if someone needed to be reimbursed for like street lights or utility poles, if you notice we have, utility poles and street lights. These aren't, they're not that expensive, but if a new Sim moves to town, they might need the money back. If that's the case, they could come and we would reimburse him. They could grab any of this stuff around here as well. Now I don't have a staircase in here. I just use the elevators, which are really neat. I like them a lot. I've never used elevators before in The Sims. But I went ahead and kept them exposed just to keep the, kind of rustic look back here. I thought that added to it. Over here, eventually, once we have our emergency services unlocked, we'll, just put some, fire trucks and police cars and whatnot around this side. And then, yeah. And then up here, oh no, here you go. You can see Lena is pregnant. Again, Ambrose and her both rolled once. I haven't had her eat cheesecake yet though, and I'm not sure I'm going to, but we'll see what happens with that. Now up here, as just part of opening up the municipal building, I wanted to have some food and bathrooms. So we have some coffee, and then you'll notice over here I have the cafeteria worker all set up to make lunch. And this is free food. I modded the food so they prepare more nutritious food. So there's no more like macaroni and cheese and spaghetti. They only offer up good food. So I think there's like omelets and this meal. I can't remember what else I did. But it's really nice. It looks simple and like this was nothing, but I cannot even tell you how many days, and by days I mean like full days, I spent working on this. And eventually I just ended up having to settle for sticking the stove into the counter, but even that had to be edited. I needed to make a counter to make this work properly. That is for another day, but I am very happy with the way this works. Anyone around can come, and they can always come over here and grab some free food like Tasha went and grabbed, and then as soon as they pick up the thing, they'll make, our cafeteria worker here will make more food and put it out, and it's free for everybody. And chili is the other meal that they're making. That was standard, but chili is nutritious, so I was happy for people to get a bowl of chili here. Whoops. Yeah. Very happy with the way that turned out. Because now if anyone, our municipal building is kind of acting as our social services a little bit here. So I don't know, like say if we have somebody who is poor and they have to move into a Jane Locke's shed over here, instead of going to the, think of a poverty challenge, instead of going to the corner store, they can come over here and there'll always be food set out for them. They have a nice shower over here that they can use. And then they can go to the library over here and say they don't have money for a bookcase, or if they're living in a shed and they don't have room for a bookcase, they can come over here or borrow a book. They can borrow a newspaper. Say someone stole your newspaper and they need a job. They can come borrow the newspaper. And they can also borrow all of the magazines. They can borrow the hobby magazines, or they can borrow the original magazines that you have to buy from the store. And you can do them by, I have this set up that you can do them by, you can borrow magazines by a title. So if you're just sending someone down here and you want them to read a magazine, you can have them read whatever looks interesting, and you can, browse the titles. But if you're sending somebody to pick up a magazine for a specific reason, you want them to work on the hobby, I also have the them separated by hobby. So if you want the nature magazine, you don't need to know the title of it. You can just grab the nature magazine. Or if you want to work on interests, Jane is a fortune sim, so she might be interested in the rat race, crime, money, and work. So you can kind of do that. And what will happen is, oh, she already had a rat race. When you click on these things, they'll just put whatever you clicked on will just be added to your inventory. So for the newspaper, I want to display a newspaper here at the library. I'll have a little reading section over here. With the book, you can bring that home and you can skill on that book there. What other options do we have? And you can also return your books and magazines. So if you go ahead and click return books and periodicals, anything in your inventory that is a book, newspaper, or magazine will be deleted from your inventory, so you can bring this stuff back if you want to. This is all on your honor system. If you lose, I don't know, maybe you bought a bookshelf and you lost your book, or your newspaper decayed, or even the hobby magazines, once you read them a certain amount of times, they deteriorate as well. So if you need be, this is the honor system here. If you lost something or you never brought it back and it's been like 20 years since you borrowed a magazine and you're an elder now, you can come over here and pay whatever fines you think are necessary. And again, this just deducts money from your family funds. So here we have $500 and we have $28,649. So if we pay that, we'll have $28,149. Or it's the exact same menu from the money jar if you have that. So that is the library mod, and that is already in place. Nothing needs to be done with that. And it's just a column that you can use anywhere. It's nice and tall, so if you wanted to make like an elaborate library desk, you know, with counters and, you know, cashiers and computers and that sort of thing, it won't interfere. It's small enough that it's not going to interfere in like clicking on the computer, and you can just click above it. And the same thing if you want to put it on a bookcase. There's plenty of room for you to get these pie menu options, and then you just make it invisible, and there we go. And you saw that we were clicking over there. Now what we also have over here is these really nice shelves. These are the shelves that Cindy uses in her grocery store, and they're so nice. They're by Simmy Simmer, and they work perfectly for what we want to do here. Now, in our library, we have, you know, books so people can read. We also have a full computer. Again, this is one of the Sims 4 computers that Sigmund Sims converted into Monique's hacked computer. So here's a full computer up here with all of the options, not just the banking. So that's nice. And we have a couple, like a little chairs here and a little reading section. And what we want to do is display the magazines. You click over here and you borrow a magazine. So say we got, you know, the headphones and At Home Artist. Let's grab these magazines here. So you have them. We can put them on the table and someone could read them like that. But I thought it'd be nice to display them and have like kind of like a full magazine rack. And to that end, along with the little library mod that I have here down in just shelves, because that's where I would grab it. I don't know that that makes sense, but yeah, that's where it is. The lending library here. We have a little magazine display for shelves, and with these, it works for one single magazine. And you take the magazine right here. It works perfectly with the way they come out of your inventory, and you can set these on shelves. So we're going to go ahead and make a whole shelf full of magazines here. And I think I'm going to make this video a part of yeah, I'm gonna make this video. I was debating whether or not I should just go ahead and cut this out, but I think it would be better to go ahead and show you, you know, everything that it's going to take to use this, just in case, you know, you're going to want to do this yourself. Now I have 16, there's 16 magazines, so I am going to buy 16 stands. What is that? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and 16. And I'm going to have Jane get one of each of these magazines in her inventory. And since this is a library, I guess we'll do them by title, and these will automatically be in alphabetical order for us. So we're going to go ahead and start at 1 and just keep going. Now there is, somebody made these magazines viable through the catalog, but what I found, shoot, I can't do this and talk at the same time because I'm going to mess up the magazines. Oh well, we'll figure it out. But with those, the magazines come out of your inventory kind of weird. You know, I guess this, I'm not even going to worry about being, if I make a mistake here, none of this is getting saved, so this isn't going to matter. I'm just going to try and speed this up here. But it would go a lot easier if you weren't talking. Somebody made the magazines buyable, so you can buy them from the catalog, but what happens is they come out of your inventory on, like, their spine, and sometimes the pages are messed up. So they weren't very, like, they were great if you just wanted a magazine, but they're not really working for what I wanted to do, which is, you know, use them, so they look nice too. And let's see what we have here. I have no idea if we have, all the magazines right or not, but it doesn't matter. You get the idea. So we're going to go ahead and we'll open up their thing, and because I purchased them in alphabetical order, they should come out in alphabetical order, and that's the way we'll put them on here. Now you'll notice as we're putting these on the display shelves, they're going on backwards, and that means that there's some limitations to this. In order to have Sims be able to use these magazines, pick them up, and read them, we're going to have to put this bookcase on a walkthrough block. But the other use I had for these, and it looks like we missed a magazine maybe. There we go. No, we didn't. Okay, the other way that I'm going to use these is in our businesses. Like when we open up our bank, I want to display a couple maybe finance magazines. So Sims who visit community lots, if we have some magazines that are devoted just to the topic of the community lot, like the rat race at the bank, maybe the cooking magazine at the bakery, people will gain interest in these subjects as they visit the lots. So I thought that could be interesting, just to see what people's interests are like once, you know, in a generation from now, after everyone has been visiting the community lots for a long time. I thought that would be kind of interesting. I've play tested this extensively, but I haven't actually played with it yet, so I'll be interested to see how that turns out. So what's happening is automatically these display stands are placed backwards, and that is because they need to be like that in order for the magazines to end up correct. So yeah, it is what it is. But because of this, that made accessing for Sims to be able to route to these kind of a pain. So the best solution that I found that ends up with the nicest animations is to limit the direction and to just require a walkthrough block for shelves. Now, for things that attach to the walls, like the apartment life shelves, you don't have to have. You know what? Let's put these in that side. So there we go. There's all 16 magazines. Now, in order for them to be able to use this, we have to put this on a walkthrough block. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. There we go. Walkthrough block. Turn that invisible, which is nice working outside because then it has an outdoor shadow, so it's not really invisible and you can tell if you picked up the whole thing. And then we'll put this right over here, and there's all of our magazines. So nice. And people should use this autonomously. And I've play tested this lot extensively, and I think I have it working pretty well. One thing that oh look, I missed it. You already came and grabbed one. What are you reading, Dustin? Dustin, he's a family sim, and he's reading about animals, school, and toys. Oh. So that's pretty interesting. Now, serious sims, I believe, are the ones that are attracted to reading. So all of the Dagneys are pretty serious, I think. Jane is active. Like you saw her, she was jumping rope and stuff. So she's not going to want to read magazines autonomously. What is her personality? She's very outgoing. Or it must be shy sims? I can't remember if it's serious or shy sims that like to read, because she's very serious. She should love reading, but she doesn't. Or maybe her high activity is canceling that out. But some sims will like to read, other sims will prefer to play like a kicky bag, but that's fine. So this is working out exactly like I wanted to. Oh, one of the other things that I did, I went ahead and I disabled the shower sounds from these Verankas all-in-one bathrooms. If you follow me on Tumblr, you know that I enabled them so visitors could use them. I had pee puddles all over, and I couldn't figure out what was happening. And it was because they were on the elevator. They couldn't leave the building as fast as they wanted to, so they were peeing on the floor. So I fixed these so visitors could use them. But they were right behind the library, and I kept constantly hearing shower sounds, so I disabled those shower noises. If anyone wants that version of this, let me know and I'll upload it for you. And another thing they were doing, they were washing the dishes in the sink. So I took out a sink and I put a little stool in here. And she is. And if you put out more island counters, she'll fill them all up with food. But I want to keep her cooking. So I only have one island counter here. So she cooks constantly. So you have like nice animations, which I think is awesome. And I think this shrimp, this is from one of the food stands. It's like fish and vegetables and rice. Very nutritious, so I was happy about that. I think I said, I'm not sure if I mentioned it or not, but I got rid of like the spaghetti and the macaroni and cheese, and we have more nutritious offerings. Oh, do you know what I didn't do either? Where's the visitor controller? I'm not sure if I've... Let's get a visitor controller so we don't have any witches or anything. So let's see. Let's NPCs. Let's ban them all. We don't want any of them coming here. See, we won't. And Dustin is still the only one reading this magazine. I guess I could have. Let's have Jane come read about culture. And you can see the animations aren't the best, but they're the best that I could do. And they'll autonomously, sometimes Sims, like Neat Sims, will put them back on the racks. Like, where are you going, Jane? Jane, what are you doing? Oh, this is a problem. Yeah, that's not gonna work. I took out the sink and the space looked blank, so I put in a little stool. But I don't want them reading in the bathroom. And you didn't put the magazine back. Let's just... Okay, so we're going to... let's delete that stool. It's not going to work. And go ahead and read about culture. So I took out the sink so they wouldn't wash the dishes, but I was not expecting them to use that little bar stool. I just put it in because it was round and purple and I thought it looked cute. They were also... So I put in a trash can over here as well, so if they were cleaning up the dishes, they would go ahead and hopefully use that. So I guess I could see what happens there. Yeah, let's speed this up. And there she goes. She put it back on the shelf. And it looks like Dustin is going to as well. But depending on like the magazines, like let's have her read this one right up here. Read the music and dance magazine. Like, you can see like kind of the weird animations. Oh, and here comes Lena. Anyway, I really like this. It can be, you don't even have to, you can have somebody down here paying their taxes and you're like, you know what, let's have them grab a magazine or a newspaper or whatever and like a cuisine, and it's not going to interrupt anything. It's just really seamless and they'll come and grab it. And love the way the food works out. Because I don't have the tables in here, if I put tables in here, she would clean up the dishes herself. But because I have the tables out here, that doesn't happen. Just people using that, you know what, let's just have them clean up these and see what happens to them. To make sure this is still working the way we want it to. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. And then we have all of these spaces here that we can fill up when we add things. I don't know if I mentioned it, but we're going to put, you know, when our emergency services are opened up, we'll put, you know, some vehicles out here. I might have, I'm not going to have a jail because that's just not something I'm interested in. But I might have like a little law office, or not a law office, a little police, maybe a detective desk. And maybe I'll have them serve. Do you see these people? Everyone is so angry about being burgled that they go around with those like little furious things over their heads. So I'm wondering if maybe I could have a detective desk, and if they serve like strawberry lemonade or whatever that drink is that decreases furiousness, if maybe people will get over the trauma of being burgled. But we'll see. Whatever I add here, I want it to be functional. These two are just a disgrace. They both wanted to have another baby, and so I let them have a baby, and she had twins. So there is 4 kids and them in these tiny little houses. That was a mess. I was so mad at her. And they both rolled the want for 10 kids, and that is just not going to happen. And yeah, and people are just coming in here, picking up things. She's reading about the nature. I love it. I think this is like absolutely perfect. So good. I think this has been an absolute success, and I think we're pretty done. The only little hiccup we had was Jane going to read in the bathroom, which I did not want. So we'll make sure to fix that. But other than that, I think everything is working fine. So we'll have her purchase this lot for real. And then we'll have her, set out the mulch, do the visitor controller. You know what? Back here, these lights, they were supposed to be like as a display. So we'd want to turn off all of these lights. That sort of thing. But other than that, yeah, I'm really happy with this. I love the way the cafeteria worker works. What did I do? I think I showed you this, right? It actually took a lot to get this working. I had to slightly adjust the stove mesh to make it smaller and to lift it up above the counter. I tried to make a separate stove, and I could not get the scheduler to work. I could not figure it out for the life of me. I cloned a stove, and I was able to get the cafeteria worker to recognize that as their stove, and they would cook on it, but they wouldn't show up to work. If I put the original stove on the lot and the clone stove on the lot, I would get 2 cafeteria workers, and they would use the custom stove. But yeah, could not figure out the scheduler for the life of me, so I went ahead and did this kind of like little Bobo version. But I don't mind it. I think it looks nice. So yeah, you always like your own stuff though, right? So in order to get this to work, I made a kind of like a fake calendar, a cafeteria stove calendar, and these recolors are by Shasta Kiss, and they match the espresso machine. I think Withered Lilies, is that right? Oh, I hope I'm not messing up their name. I think Withered Lilies is the one who made this default replacement of the espresso machine. So I made the counter match this. So you could like kind of like go all out. You could make like, like add an espresso bar. Well, I'd have to, put cheats on it and all that kind of thing. You could add like an espresso bar. You could put like another counter on here and make like a little checkout stand. Like you could really go to town making this nice and kind of like put it in a room and make it like a full cafeteria. But these as a little cart here is nice too. So happy with that. I can't believe I'm rambling so much, but yeah, it is what it is. Are we done? I still love the lot imposter lights. I wish I could control them in every house, so you'll look around and some of them are off, but that's fine. Very happy with the mirrored windows. I'm not sure if except for at night they look a little foggy, but that's fine. What I did with those was, if you set them back one tile from the wall, they don't show up as red, which if you look over at our Please Play Museum, you see that red sign. I don't like that. But if you put them back one tile away from the edge of the wall, that red doesn't happen. But the only thing with that, then you'd have them in the middle of your floor. So I just went ahead and made a quick edit of that to have them hang from the roof, kind of like the entire bespoke build set. So that way I could set them up in the center of the room, still get the reflection, but when you put the walls down to actually play, they hide, so they're not there anymore. So I thought that was pretty clever. What else did we do? Like, this is all Max's Match, but there's like a ton of CC in here. Again, we have that bookcase by Simmy Simmer. We have Withered Lilies coffee stands and Shostakis's recolors of that. Veronka's all-in-one bathrooms. The computers by Sigmund Sims. The trees and the reflective floors by Murano. So much. Like, it's not a lot of CC, but it doesn't look like there's a lot of CC, but there is a lot in this lot. And I guess they're going to be done with the library. And which means that I should probably just wrap this up, right? I don't have any sort of closing. It's been so long since I've done a video. Those of you who know me from the simming community know that I've been playing Calamity Hills again for the last few months. But if you just follow me on YouTube, there haven't been any videos because I was so sick for the longest time. And then once I got better, we were on lockdown and everybody was working from home, and I just don't have the ability to record like I used to. But I'm trying to find time to. So if that happens, I'll be making next on the list for most requested Overcrowd, a commute 'em up. That game is entered into the final build, and I had a lot of requests to play that again, so I'd absolutely love to play that. I have an adorable little in-game sprite, Honeywell sprite, so I'd love to show that off. So if I get the chance later on today or maybe tomorrow, I'll record as much of that as possible, or maybe not. I'm not promising anything, but go ahead and go ahead and leave a like on the video if you liked it. I'd appreciate it so much. Subscribe if you are new and you're interested in any, kind of a surprise Sims videos. They might happen. If you like Overcrowd, again, I'm not sure, not promising anything, but we'd like to do some videos of that. Surviving the Aftermath, I was just invited to a closed beta of that, so once that is fully released, we'll probably pick that up again and take a look at that. So it's not going to be regular content, but periodically there might be something on the channel. So if you subscribe, you'll be notified of that if 6 months from now I put out another video. But other than that, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye. Love it.